It's great to be in the United States of America. I have been really enjoying the goodwill of Americans. Americans love Canada. That's the great news that I take away from this trip. Incredible goodwill on the south side of the border. They want trade with Canada. They want partnership with Canada. They want friendship with Canada, as we've done for well over 200 years now. Then it was on to the Joe Rogan podcast, which is the biggest podcast in the world and the best place to sell Americans on the idea of tariff-free trade, to fight for our auto workers, our lumber workers, our steel and aluminum workers, and to fight for Canadian interests. We need to harness the goodwill of the American people, and what better place to do it than on the biggest podcast in the world, fighting for Canadian workers. Well, the negotiations are coming up for the USMCA, or the CUSMA as we call it in Canada. I wanted to maximize Canadian leverage going in, and one of the biggest leverage points we have to fight for tariff-free trade, fight for our auto, steel, aluminum, and lumber workers is the goodwill of the American people. So I use the podcast to argue in favor of removing those tariffs, not just because it's great for Canadian workers, but also because it'll make life more affordable for American consumers.
How do you think you did on the podcast?
I think we had a great conversation. Joe's a great guy, and my mission was very simple: fight for Canada. I presented him with a big maple leaf on his kettlebell, which he'll see every time he works out. He'll think of Canadian workers who did the artisanal craftsmanship on that beautiful piece of equipment, and it was a great chance to fight for removing tariffs, so that our people can have jobs and we can launch our economy from currently being the weakest in the G7 to being the strongest.